Why are marketers and psychologists unspoken culprits in the obesity and health crisis we're experiencing in America?
Yeah, first time I realized that psychology was so important, besides kind of the getting sodas in ballparks, was the invention of the Lunchables, right? You all know that. It's the school bus yellow painted like cardboard box with a little tray inside with stuff like cold pizza and cold hamburgers and cold this and that. When they invented that, in order to sell or have a bigger market for selling surplus processed ham and processed cheese that they had, the inventors of that, who I spent some time with, were kind of thinking, there's no way kids are going to like this. I mean, what kid would want like a cold pizza Lunchable party? In fact, their parents said, you guys are out of your minds. There's no way our kids are going to eat this. But the kids went crazy for it when they actually gave it to them. And the reason is it wasn't about the food, it was about something else going. In fact, the CEO of Kraft at the time said publicly once that Lunchables isn't about food as much as it's about the badge value. When a kid walks into the cafeteria with a Lunchables, he or she is like the cat's meow. I'm like dating myself with that expression, but they were like the it thing in the cafeteria, right? Because here's the cool thing. In fact, it was even like packaged as a gift from their parents, and they brought that thing out. They didn't have to eat like the school cafeteria food. And that's when the company came up with that psychologically based slogan, which went, all day you got to do what they say, but lunchtime is all yours, right? Lunchables was about empowerment, a huge psychological, emotional component of that. Other emotions, we eat for stress, right? Snickers bar came out with the slogan, don't let hunger happen to you, tapping into that sort of emotional stress and trauma with us. I think stress and trauma can actually explain a lot about kind of our worst eating habits. I interview people who ate at McDonald's regularly, and this young woman said to me at one point, Michael, I look at the faces of people eating McDonald's like me. They're alone, they're lonely, they're going to McDonald's not for the food, but kind of for like the social, the atmosphere of being with other people, is satisfying, filling this emotional hole in their psyches. And I thought that was like a brilliant insight.
That's I wanted to say, it would be very hard to eat healthy in this environment because the environment is an unhealthy environment psychologically.
Yeah.
And there's so many sugary, salty things there to comfort you.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people's like they have sex with food, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. It's comforting, it's soothing, it's exciting. Again, it's fast, right? We're living in an incredibly fast society now where we demand and have come to expect speed in everything, from the way we get our news and information and entertainment. Well, there's nothing faster than than processed food, right? The way it's manufactured for speed to get the cost down, the way it's packaged so you can get your hand in like the cereal box and get half the box in like one handful. The way that the salt, sugar, fat hits the reward center of the brain. Scientists who used to study drug addiction know that the faster a drug hits the brain, the more apt we are to act impulsively. That's why we moved from snorting cocaine to smoking cocaine, crack, right? Because it hit the brain and it was much more addictive in that sense. Well, let me tell you, there's nothing faster than the way processed food hits the brain. I'll tell you this, these scientists did this really cool experiment a while ago where they looked at how fast sugar hits the brain and you respond to it. So just for reference, cigarette smoke takes about 10 seconds to fully engage the brain. So they sat people down at a table and they go, push the button when you taste the little dab of sugar I'm going to put on your tongue. So they put the sugar on their tongue. Those people were pushing the button, tasting the sugar, in less than 1 second compared to 10 seconds for smoking. Because, and this is a really, really important thing to sort of think about, which is because we're hardwired to be attracted to things like sugar, right? The sugar plays a trick. It doesn't go directly to the brain, not initially. it sends a signal through the taste buds. And that electronic signal is what goes to the brain so quickly that had those people pushing that button in less than a second. And that's really important to think about because we're hardwired evolutionary to be attracted to things like salt and sugar and fat because in reasonable amounts, they're really good for us. Just like we're hardwired to be attracted to calories. Did you know that we have sensors on our tongue that tell us how many of the calories there are in what we're eating or drinking? For most of our existence, right, eating calories was a great thing. It was a matter of life and death. Putting on body fat was a really good thing. Back when you were facing famine or drought or the ice age, you know you'd be burning off that body fat, right? Well, dial forward now, and it's an entirely different situation, which these companies have exploited. They came up with these products that are full of calories. They call these things densely packed with calories, snack foods especially, but they're junk calories. They don't provide you any nutritional health value at all. But because this has only happened in the last 50 years, we can't tell instinctually the difference between junk calories and healthy calories instinctually. So we'll taste a piece of junk with 400 calories and a delicious healthy meal with 400 calories. We can't really tell down deep kind of the difference. And that's a way that they're exploiting our deepest instincts in a way that our biology hasn't had time yet to catch up.